Life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. One moment you're walking on a clear sunlit path, the next the ground trembles beneath your feet. A diagnosis, a job loss, a sudden goodbye. The end of a relationship that you thought would last forever. In these moments, fear doesn't just knock on your door, it barges right in, sits on your chest, and whispers that you are not strong enough, not ready, not capable. So, how do you find bravery when everything inside you is screaming to run and hide? How do you stand tall when life gets truly scary? Let me begin by reframing what bravery actually is. We often imagine bravery as the absence of fear, the image of a hero charging into battle without a second thought, muscles tense and jaw set. But that's not bravery. That's a Hollywood fantasy. Real bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than your fear. It is your hands shaking while you sign those divorce papers because you know you deserve peace. It is your voice trembling when you speak up against an injustice. It is your heart pounding as you walk into the hospital room, but you walk in anyway because your loved one needs to see a familiar face. Bravery is fear that has said its piece, taken a deep breath, and chosen to move forward 1 inch at a time. So, how do you cultivate this kind of bravery when life gets terrifying? The first step is to stop trying to eliminate fear. When we try to push fear away, we give it more power. We spend so much energy pretending we aren't afraid that we exhaust ourselves before the real battle even begins. Instead, acknowledge the fear. Say it out loud. I am terrified right now. Give it a name, a shape, a voice. Fear is not your enemy. It is your internal alarm system. It tells you that something matters. You are never afraid of things that don't matter to you. You are afraid of losing your health because you love your life. You are afraid of failing because you care deeply about your work or your family. The moment you realize that your fear is simply the shadow of your love, you transform it from a monster into a compass. Your fear is pointing directly at what you value most. Let that guide you. The second key to bravery is to shrink the moment. When life gets scary, our minds do something terrible. They project into the future. We imagine the worst case scenario in high definition. We play a movie in our heads where we lose everything, end up alone, or fail so publicly that we can never recover. This future tripping is paralyzing. To be brave, you must pull your focus back to the next 5 minutes, not the next 5 months, not the next 5 years, the next 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what is the one small tangible thing I can do right now? Can you drink a glass of water? Can you send one email? Can you put on one shoe? Can you take 3 slow breaths? Bravery is not a giant leap. It is a series of tiny, almost boring steps taken in a terrifying direction. When you focus on the immediate next step, the vast ocean of fear shrinks down to a manageable puddle. You don't have to be brave for the rest of your life. You only have to be brave for the next 60 seconds. And then the 60 seconds after that, before you know it, you've climbed a mountain you never thought you could climb. Another profound truth about bravery is that you do not have to feel brave to act brave. This is the most liberating secret I can share. Courage is a behavior, not a feeling. You can be shaking, crying, and whispering, "I can't do this," under your breath and still do the brave thing. In fact, that is the purest form of bravery. Feelings are passengers in the car of your life, but you are the driver. Your fear can scream in the back seat. Your anxiety can kick the front seat, but your hands are on the wheel. You get to choose the destination. So many people wait for the feeling of courage to arrive before they take action. They sit around thinking, I'll speak up when I feel confident, or I'll start that business when I feel ready. That day never comes. Action comes first. Feeling follows. Act brave, and eventually your feelings will catch up like a shy dog following its owner home. Let's also talk about community, because we make a terrible mistake when we try to be brave alone. We live in a culture that worships the lone wolf, the solitary hero who needs no one. That is a dangerous myth. When life gets scary, your instinct might be to isolate yourself, to hide in your room, to push people away, to suffer in silence. Don't Bravery is often just a decision to reach out. It takes immense courage to pick up the phone and say, I'm falling apart. Can you sit with me? It takes strength to admit you don't have the answers. The bravest people I know are not the ones who never need help. They are the ones who know exactly when to ask for it. Let other people hold your lantern when your own light is flickering. Let them walk beside you. There is a reason why soldiers fight in units and climbers use ropes. We are stronger together. Your bravery inspires theirs, and theirs will reignite yours. Remember, too, that bravery is not about winning. This is a crucial point that we often forget. We think being brave means everything turns out perfectly in the end. But that's not bravery. That's luck. True bravery is showing up even when you know you might lose. It is trying to save a relationship even if it might still end. It is applying for the job even if you might get rejected. It is getting out of bed and facing the day even when you know more bad news might come. The measure of your bravery is not the outcome. The measure of your bravery is your willingness to stay in the game despite the risk of pain. And that kind of bravery is available to every single one of us, regardless of our circumstances. Finally, when life is at its scariest, find your anchor. An anchor is a small, grounding ritual that reminds you of your own continuity. It could be a morning cup of coffee, a walk around the block, a prayer, a song, a photograph in your wallet. In the chaos of fear, your mind will spin out of control. Your anchor pulls you back to the present moment. It says, yesterday I was afraid and I survived. Today I am afraid and I will survive again. The sun rose yesterday, it will rise tomorrow. These small rituals are not trivial. They are lifelines. They remind you that you have been through storms before. You are still here. The very fact that you are breathing right now, despite every scary thing that has ever happened to you, is proof of your own resilience. You are a survivor of every single one of your worst days so far. That track record is impeccable. So when life gets scary, and it will, because that is the nature of being human, do not wait for the fear to vanish. Do not curse yourself for trembling. Instead, look your fear in the eye and say, I see you. Now what needs to be done? Take one small step. Reach out one hand. Breathe one breath. Act before you feel ready. Let your love for what matters be louder than your fear of what might happen. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and more capable than you can possibly imagine. The proof is not in some future heroic moment. The proof is in this very breath, this very choice to listen, to learn, and to prepare for the storms ahead. Life will get scary. That is guaranteed. But so is this. Within you lies a courage that has never been defeated. It's time to let it speak.